to the 30, the 20, 10, 5. Torrey Horton back to the end zone.
28-yard play. Guess who? Body up the middle, making another move to the outside. 15, 10, end zone again.
Keeps it. Nice move by Brown. He's got space. He's got 6. 35-yard touchdown for Byron Brown. A record-setting night for the South Florida quarterback.
Down so far, a little bit of a high snap. Genty right up the middle. Genty has room. Ashton Genty, give him 6.
Second and long. Lagar tries to pin it in. Runnels, it does. Runnels stays up. The Suns offense 4-3 wheels. Incredible effort for Runnels.
The G5 Hive. All G5, all the time.
Welcome to the G5 Hive Live. We are excited to bring to you the G5 college football coverage you love each and every week. I am Luke, and I am joined by my co-host, Justice. You might notice there's something a little different today. Yes, I'm not wearing my glasses for the show. That's the only thing that's different. No, we got Justice over here. He's doesn't have his backdrop. Justice is out traveling.
I'm not at home. I'm in a convention center in New Orleans. Yeah, it's So apologize if people walk up behind me.
Yeah, so we are doing a little bit different. I have a late work meeting that I have to go to and I have to travel for, and I have to leave tomorrow after work to go to that and gone for about half the week. So this week will look a little different. It's already starting here Sunday, where we're usually doing our Monday show, and we're going to do a portion of it tonight, and Justice at the end will kind of talk a little bit about what the future of the week looks like for us. But this is another week of college football, and we're about I think we are at the halfway point in the college football season.
In terms of regular season, absolutely.
And it's gone fast. It feels like it took forever to get here, and it feels like it's going by quick.
Yeah, it has gone by really fast. Matter of fact, earlier today, I got to be invited by CFF lists. So shout out to Jay Mill and Willie B. Luke got to do that, I guess, week 1, right? You were a guest picker week 1. I got to be a guest picker. This is their final week before they go to how they do their playoffs. Okay. So I got to be a guest picker this week. I did not pick an all G5 team. I do have one P4 player. Okay. Purple Rain Joe, he did pick an entirely G5 team. But overall, we all picked mostly G5. There was only 4 P4 players picked in that video, and I think they'll drop it tomorrow. But mostly G5 players. And I got Haj Malik Williams, Floyd Chalk, Coleman Owen, Raylan Sharp, Jacob Newell, and then my one P4 player was Tyree Walker from Wisconsin.
Okay.
But
yeah. Well, if you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button. If you're watching us on X, please give us a follow, a like, or retweet. And if you're listening to us in podcast form, please leave a rate and review.
All right, let's move over to week 7. This week, there is no G5 versus P4 games on the schedule. So we figured we would just kind of recap where we stand so far season to date in terms of G5 versus P4. There's 8 G5 versus P4 wins on the year. We were hopeful there would be 9, that UNLV would have 3 and not 2. But UNLV's tops in that regard, regardless. They beat Houston and Kansas. They had a great shot and went to overtime, had a great shot beating Syracuse. They just kind of ended up on the losing end there. But kudos to UNLV for those 2 wins against P4. And then here we have 6 other teams that have won games against the P4. Big upset with Northern Illinois beating Notre Dame. Notre Dame was ranked. They're still ranked, but I think they were ranked pretty highly at that point. So kudos to the Huskies on the mat.
Or something like that.
Yeah. Memphis over Florida State. by the time that game was played, it had lost its luster. This is a game we had talked about way back over the summer that Memphis was going to beat Florida State, and they did. But the game certainly didn't have the attractiveness that it did back in June or July. And then this game looking huge right now, right? Georgia State beats Vanderbilt, right? Vanderbilt just beat Alabama. So does that mean Georgia State's better than Alabama?
Transitive. I took math, transitive property. AB plus BC equals AC. That's how it works.
But yeah, just outstanding win there for Georgia State. Again, we didn't have high expectations for Georgia State. They lost their coach in the middle of spring practice. They had they had coaching changes, a lot of personnel changes, and for them to show up and beat an SEC team in Vanderbilt, that's just pretty impressive, right? And we've been saying all along, it's like this isn't the Vanderbilt team of old, right? I don't know that they're a top SEC team, although they just beat the number one team in the land, Alabama. But yeah, so just super impressive win there for Georgia State. Speaking of the SEC, Toledo, man, they just went and destroyed Mississippi State. I think it's 2 or 3 weeks ago. It was like 49-10 or something like that. Toledo certainly looking like the best team in the MAC, I would say, early on. JMU dropped those 70 points against North Carolina 2 weeks ago. North Carolina is not great, but hey, they're an ACC school, and JMU just dominated that game. And then last week we had Louisiana Raging Cajuns go against Wake Forest from the SEC, and they beat them. Wake Forest shanked a field goal there to send it overtime, giving the Raging Cajuns the win. But again, Raging Cajuns looked really good. Looked like that Sun Belt West is looking tough, man. You got Louisiana, Arkansas State, South Alabama, UL Monroe, Texas State. The Sun Belt West looks super, super tough this year. All right, Luke, what do we got for our the featured matchups for the G5 this week, week 7?
All right, well, we got Coastal Carolina at James Madison Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. I don't know who's playing NFL-wise this Thursday, but this is the game I want to be watching. I got little kids basketball, so it's going to be like here and there of watching. I won't get to be able to sit down and just watch all of it. But Coastal Carolina, like I said, came off their bye, got healthy. Team's playing pretty well. James Madison, kind of up and down, but been looking good after their bye. Had a tough game this last week. That'll be a huge, huge game. No love for Liberty. I'm crushed, says Gabe in the chat. Then we got Memphis at South Florida Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Still no word on Byron Brown.
Hopefully,
sounds like it's an ankle. We're not for sure, but I don't anticipate we will hear anything heading into that Memphis game. Those lips will be tight, trying to keep Memphis on their toes. Then you've got Toledo at Buffalo Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Going to Buffalo will be a little bit tough, but we're not cold weather yet. I like Toledo in this one. Any thoughts? I'm kind of blowing through some of these. Justice, do you have any comments through Coastal, JMU, Memphis, South Florida, Toledo, Buffalo that you want to add to
it? The interesting to see what JMU and Coastal will do. That could be a game where there's no defense, right? Neither defense has been stellar, so far this year. Coastal, this could be a battle to see who wins the Sun Belt East, right? I believe from a record standpoint, Coastal and JMU are probably the top two teams, and so this matchup could decide who represents the East in the Sun Belt Championship game. Personally, I think JMU is a better team, so I look for them to bounce back at home. South Florida just doesn't look good at all. Even before the Byron Brown injury, they haven't looked good. Memphis has been winning other than the Navy game, but they haven't been super impressive. We'll see if Memphis can use this game to kind of get right, or if they're going to be upset by the Bulls. And then, Toledo, man, class of the MAC. Buffalo did beat Northern Illinois, but Toledo definitely looks like the class of the MAC. And looks like they should be back in that MAC championship game.
And then we've got Miami of Ohio versus Eastern Michigan, 12 p.m. Eastern. I kind of like Eastern Michigan in this one. Like I said, Miami just scored their first and second touchdowns on the road. They're on the road in this one. Miami of Ohio's defense has been pretty good, but Toledo didn't really have a problem with them. I don't know. I just like Eastern Michigan in this one.
Yeah, should be a good game. Could be a lot of points scored.
Then we've got Ohio at Central Michigan. That one's at 4 p.m. Eastern. Ohio, I anticipate to run the ball all over Central Michigan. We'll see. We'll see how. Parker Navarro's been back. I think they had a bye this last week. He came back for his first game back 2 weeks ago. But I anticipate the Bobcats being able to pull this one out at Central Michigan. Thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Ohio is in the running to being just below Toledo there in the MAC. I've been a fan of Ohio all season and think I think they have a good defense. I think with Parker Navarro back, that offense is going to look good. And I think they'll pull it out against the Chippewas.
And then a game I missed earlier, we've got Northern Illinois at Bowling Green, Saturday, 3:30 p.m. Eastern. This one's at Bowling Green.
Should be a good one.
It will be a good one. Ontario Brown gets injured. He's questionable coming into the game last week or yesterday. Then he gets hurt in the second quarter. How's that going to go? They're going to be able to run the ball. Bowling Green been playing teams very tough all year, whether they're P5, whether they're P4, whether they're G5. Harold Fannin is just a man on a mission. I kind of want to take Bowling Green because it's at home. It's hard for me to go against Northern Illinois because their defense is still pretty good. But I think it's going to be a close one. I'm going to take Bowling Green in this one just because they're at home. But I could go either way. Justice, your thoughts?
I think it kind of hinges on Ontario Brown. If he's back, I like Northern Illinois. If he's not there, I think I'm going to go with you in Bowling Green. And speaking of Bowling Green, Harold Fannin Jr., man, he's having an unbelievable year. All he does is put up 100-yard games. And, he's one of the top pass catchers in all of college football, much less a G5. And he's a tight end. So shout out to Harold Fannin Jr., man. Amazing year so far.
Did I say a different name than Harold Fannin Jr.? Now I'm like, oh, maybe
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. I was like, okay. I thought I said that. I was like, okay, maybe not. All right. And then we've got San Jose State at Colorado State, Saturday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. I anticipate San Jose State to run away with this one. Colorado State just isn't the team I thought they were going to be this year. Plain and simple.
No, I don't know. Maybe it's the coaching. Maybe you'll see a coaching change. I doubt it. But San Jose State, on the other hand, has been surprising. With the new spread and shred offense there under Craig Stutzman. I guess to me, the thing I'm interested to see is what happens with that quarterback situation, right? Is it going to go back to Emmett Brown, who's had a pretty impressive start, or are they going to make a switch to Walker Eget, or are we going to see them both?
And then we've got Washington State at Fresno State, Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern. I'll be interested on this one. Obviously, Washington State didn't look maybe as great as it could have against Boise State before they had their bye. Fresno State defense was strong to start it off, but that defense has kind of been wavered a little bit here. I think it'll just be a good game overall. I like Washington State in this one.
Yeah, I tried to look on ESPN. I don't see an over/under for that game, man. But that just seemed to me that game screams shootouts. Should have a high over/under total. Just looks like a fun game, like you said. Both offenses can score a lot of points. I don't think either defense is particularly good. So yeah, I wish I had over under and could tell you guys if I think it's going to go over. But I don't know. Like, where do you think the over under should be, Luke? I would say, like, to me, like, you're looking at least 65, maybe 69, somewhere in that range.
I was going to go with gut was telling me 63.5 is probably where it would be set at. Maybe 65.5. So 63.5 to 65.5, I feel like, is where it would be set. I think it honestly just kind of depends on what Fresno State team we get. That offense just hasn't necessarily been consistent every week. It says Fresno State over under, Gabe Davis says 61.5. So what did I say? What did I say?
It was a 63. I was comfortable like at 65, 69. So yeah, I definitely would take the over in that game.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it depends on what Fresno State offense shows up, because they've been a little Jekyll and Hyde, I feel like. Then we've got Arkansas State at Texas State, 7 p.m. Eastern. Texas State, I think this is like the clash of two teams that do things well. You got Arkansas State defense playing really well, and then you've got Texas State offense been playing well. The defense has been doing well, but then you had Ben Bell out last week and has not, that defense didn't look nearly as imposing this last week. So I like Texas State. I like Texas State at home in that one. Gabe Davis, he gave us the over under and says, "I'll bet my kids' college fund."
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. We would not recommend doing that. But yeah, I mean, it definitely is a game we like. I'm pretty conservative when it comes to betting. I would never bet my kids' college fund. So yeah, you guys that do bet, please be responsible with your bets. But yeah, definitely we do like that Washington State, Fresno State over.
Yeah, we're going to talk about I kind of gave my thoughts there on that Arkansas State, Texas State. What are your thoughts, Justice?
I mean, it's a big matchup for the Sun Belt West. Again, like I said, other than Southern Miss, has they're clearly like not in the race. But other than Southern Miss, it seems like legitimately any of the other teams in the other teams in the Sun Belt West can win that division. And so again, Arkansas State, Texas State is going to could go a long way and give someone kind of a leg up in the Sun Belt West. Should be a good game. I guess the thing I'm interested to see is, can Arkansas State keep up offensively, keep up with Texas State? We haven't seen that yet from Arkansas State. Now, they were able to hold South Alabama down and win the game. Can they do that against Texas State? I don't know. I'm surprised they did against South Alabama. I'll be shocked if they do it here against Texas State. And I'm just not sure that Arkansas State offense can keep up with Texas State's offense.
Yeah, I don't think so. And then our last game that we want to highlight is Boise State at Hawaii, Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern. Is it at 1 p.m.? That'd be later.
It's probably 11 p.m.
Probably 11. Okay, yeah, it's at Hawaii. I'm like,
it's 11 p.m. 11 p.m. Eastern.
This one, it's just stay up and watch Ashton Genty. That Hawaii defense, like we said, is searching for their first win against an FBS opponent. Probably not going to be this week against Boise State, but look for Boise State to just crush it. And Ashton Genty hopefully is the reason that he's not playing the second half of that game, and just putting it to Hawaii and helping his case for the Heisman.
Yeah, just like you said, opportunity to kind of watch Ashton Genty and doing his thing there against Hawaii.
And standalone game, standalone. Everyone, just wait till 11 p.m. Eastern to watch it.
One thing before we close out here on week 7, and to Gabe's point, there are games Tuesday night and Wednesday night this week. Conference USA starts playing on Tuesday night this week. You got Florida International against Liberty. Tuesday night at 7 p.m. And then they also play Wednesday night. Conference USA does. They're at 7:30 Eastern. New Mexico State against Jacksonville State. Liberty's been off for 2 weeks, so it'll be interesting to kind of see if Liberty gets back to the Liberty of last year, or they kind of see the Liberty that we've seen so far to this point. Even though they're undefeated, they haven't really been super impressive. So yeah, I mean, that's probably the big thing I'm looking for that Liberty game is how did they use this 2 weeks? Are they going to look more impressive, or are they going to look like they've had 2 weeks off and not done anything? So that's kind of what I'm looking for in the Liberty game. And then the Wednesday night game, New Mexico State against Jacksonville State. I'm just looking for Tyler Huff to kind of, New Mexico State defense has not been good. We saw Devin Dampier from New Mexico tear him up last week, and so I look for Tyler Huff to have a big game again next week against New Mexico State.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us for this particular podcast. Justice, we kind of talked about it at the beginning. I'm traveling for work. I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm going to be gone for about half the week. And then actually my son turns 7 on Thursday, so I'm going to make it back just in time for that. And then we got birthday parties, family and stuff all week, or like getting ready for that Thursday night, Friday night, and then birthday party Saturday and whatnot. So What can the viewers look at for the rest of the week?
Well, I am in New Orleans, and so I can't 100% guarantee that it's going to happen. But my plan is to sometime tomorrow, Monday, to do a solo show. It won't be live; it'll be pre-recorded. To kind of do a solo show to go over our 2020 players, which are the top players in the G5: quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, tight ends, defensive tackles, linebackers, cornerbacks, and safeties. Hopefully, we'll go through that tomorrow, and then also go over some waiver wire additions this week for those folks that play college fantasy football. So look out for that. Probably be released on, I guess, Tuesday morning. But the plan is to try and get that recorded tomorrow evening. So yeah, that's the plan. But like I said, I am in New Orleans, and but I'm gonna do my best to try and get that done sometime tomorrow.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight. So come back, join us next week as we discuss what happened in Week 7, as well as take a look forward to Week 8 of the 2024 season as we always bring you up to date on the latest news and happenings in the world of G5 college football. If you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button. If you're watching us on X, please give us a retweet, a like, and a follow. And if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please subscribe and leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. Thank you all for your support. Until the next time, we are G5 Hive.